I didn't think much of it in the beginning. It just looked like a regular account. No profile picture, no posts, no bio. But it watched every story I uploaded. And it was always instant. I'd post something, and within seconds, that account would already be at the top of the viewer list. At first, I figured it was just someone who spent a lot of time online. Maybe even some kind of bot. I didn't really care enough to question it. Back then, I posted pretty often. Nothing special, just normal daily stuff. Coffee in the morning, the gym later in the day, sometimes a quick story from wherever I was. Looking back, I was basically sharing my entire routine without realizing it. The first time something felt off was at a cafe. I had just uploaded a story, just a picture of my coffee sitting on the table. Nothing unusual. A few minutes later, I noticed someone walking past the window. He slowed down slightly and looked inside. We made eye contact for maybe half a second. Then he just kept going. I didn't think much of it. It's a public place. People walk by all the time. The second time was different. That happened 2 days later. I had posted a quick story outside my gym, just the entrance. No location tag, nothing that directly gave it away. About 10 minutes later, I was inside finishing my workout. When I walked out, I saw him again. The same guy. This time, he wasn't moving. He was standing across the street, just there, not staring directly at me. More like he was pretending to be on his phone. But I recognized him immediately. Same jacket, same posture. And the moment I noticed him, he turned and walked away. That's when it stuck with me. It felt way too specific to be random. That night, I checked my story viewers. That same account was there, right at the top, just like every other time. After that, I started paying attention. Every time I posted something, I checked who saw it first. And it was always that account, always within seconds. So I decided to test it. The next day, I posted a story from a small park I sometimes go to. It wasn't a busy place, just quiet. I stayed there longer than usual, on purpose. About 10 minutes after I posted it, I saw someone walking into the park. Same guy. This time, he didn't look at me at all. He just walked past slowly, like he was just passing through. But there was no reason for him to be there. It wasn't on the way to anything. That's when I started feeling uneasy. I went home and really thought about what I had been posting. Every story had small details. Street signs in the background, shops, buildings, even the layout of the streets. If someone paid attention, they could figure out where I was, especially if they already knew the area. The next day, I ran a proper test. I posted an old photo, something I had taken a few days earlier, at a completely different location. But I posted it, like it was happening in real time. Then I went somewhere else entirely, a place I had never posted before. I waited. At first, nothing happened. No one showed up. I checked the viewers. That account had seen the story. Again, almost instantly. But this time, he didn't appear at the location from the story, because I wasn't actually there. And that's when everything made sense. He wasn't tracking me. He was reacting, using whatever I posted, in real time. And when that didn't work, he relied on something else. My routine. Over the next few days, I stopped posting completely. No stories. Nothing at all. And I didn't see him again. Not at the cafe. Not near the gym. Nowhere. It just stopped, which should have made me feel relieved. But it didn't, because it confirmed everything. He wasn't randomly showing up. He wasn't guessing. He was watching. And the moment I stopped showing him where I was, he had nothing left to work with. The account disappeared a few days later. Just gone. Like it had never existed. But I still think about how easy it was. I never told anyone where I was. I never shared my location. I never tagged anything. And still, he always knew exactly where to go, because I showed him every single day. It didn't feel strange at the beginning. It started like any other message. Just a reply to one of my stories. Nothing special. I had posted something from the gym, and he reacted to it with a short comment. Completely normal. I get messages like that all the time. So I replied, and that was it. At least that's what I thought. We kept talking after that. Not all the time, just here and there. He seemed completely normal. Same interests, similar sense of humor. Nothing about him stood out in a bad way. If anything, it was easy to talk to him. That's probably why I never questioned it. As time went on, the conversations got longer, more personal, but still normal. Work, daily routines, random things you end up talking about when you text someone regularly. Looking back, I realize how much I actually shared with him. Not all at once, but over time. Small details, spread across different conversations. Things that didn't feel important at all. Like when I usually go to the gym, which days I stay longer at work, where I usually get coffee, on their own. None of it mattered. But together, it was everything. The first time something felt off was when he mentioned a place I go to often. A small cafe. I had posted it before, but not recently. He said something like, "You're usually there around the same time, right?" That caught me off guard. Not enough to scare me, but enough to make me pause. I asked him what he meant. He said he had seen it in my older posts, which sounded reasonable, so I didn't think too much about it. But after that, I started noticing small things. He would mention details I didn't remember telling him directly. Nothing major, just specific, like knowing which days I finish work earlier, or when I usually go out in the evening. At the time, I assumed I had told him at some point. That's how conversations work. You forget what you've shared. Eventually, he suggested meeting in person. He said we probably go to the same places anyway, which didn't sound that weird. I hesitated for a moment, but nothing about him felt dangerous. We had been talking for weeks, maybe even longer. So I agreed. We chose a public place, that same cafe. Middle of the day, busy, safe. At least that's what I thought. I got there a few minutes early, sat down, ordered something, and waited. A few minutes later, he walked in. I recognized him immediately, not because I had seen him before, but because he moved like someone who already knew exactly where I was. He didn't look around, didn't hesitate. He walked straight toward me, like he had already pictured it. Where I'd be sitting, where I'd be, even which side of the table. That's what made me uncomfortable. Not his face, not the fact that he showed up, but how certain he was. He sat down and smiled, acted completely normal, started talking like nothing was off. Then he said something small. He looked around for a moment and said, "You always sit here, don't you?" I didn't answer right away, because he was right. I always chose that exact spot, same table, same side, every time. I had never told him that, at least not directly, but I didn't have to. He had seen it. In older photos. In the background of my stories. In those small details. I never paid attention to. The conversation didn't last much longer after that. I made up an excuse and left. As soon as I got home, I blocked him everywhere. Deleted the chat. Everything. That should have been the end of it. And technically, it was. He never contacted me again. But that wasn't what stayed with me. What stuck with me was how easy it had been. He didn't hack anything. He didn't track me. He didn't break into anything. I told him everything. Just not all at once. And not in a way I noticed. It was spread out. Across messages, across posts, across time. And by the time I realized it, he already knew more than enough. If you're a fan of creepy true stories, feel free to check out my playlist.